What's on your evil mind?
Hold your insulting tongue and mark my words well.
How about this rumor that you are really Iron Man, Mr. Stark?
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Comic Book Chronicles. Woo! Sound effects that I forgot to put in here. Wee! Woo! I know I forgot something. I am adding way too much to this, but you know, hopefully it'll be in post. Here we go. I am your host, Roddykat. You can find me at Roddykat on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at News Nerds Need on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at CBCaps on Instagram. South Carolina with Columbia down the way, because I definitely don't have that one on me. And it's just me this afternoon. In fact, it is the afternoon when I'm recording this because, well, 8 to 70 is at is at New York Comic Con of the 2025s. Probably having a good old time up there. So if y'all check him out there, you can say hey, be nice, you know, all that kind of good jazz. So yeah, it's just me, and I figured since he's there, and there was a lot of news since last week coming into the show, I figured I'd just come on and do a news show this week, and he'll be back next week and do the con wrap up, and we may hopefully even have a friend of the show, Matt Wayne 97, with us, and of course 2 weeks worth of news, and the wrap up Peacemaker and all that kind of good jazz. So yeah, it's just me. It's just me, you, and the news. Actually, wait, before I even get into that, actually, yeah, you know what, before we even get into that, you can find this here podcast on the Coastal of the Podcast Network. That's cspn.us. Do it today. You can also find us on your podcast perusal place of choice, whether it be Apple iTunes, like your Apple Podcast, Spotify, or the Coastal of the Podcast Network's SoundCloud page. And of course, you can find us recording mostly every Thursday night, 9:30/10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, on twitch.tv/Comic Book Chronicles and youtube.com/TheClickNation. You know, smash that like button, all that kind of good jazz. So yeah, like I said, it's just me, it's just you, it's just the news. But before we get into all of that, we're just going to take care of a little ad business here right at the top with Funko, fun at first sight, your home for exclusive collectibles, apparel, and brand merchandise. Now, for the listeners of the Comic Book Chronicles, you can enjoy 10% off your entire purchase when shopping at when shopping at Funko. To place your first order with 10% off, and to help keep our show free for you, go to our network website at cspn.us, then click on the Keep Our Podcast Free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down to the Funko link and place your order. When you get to the checkout, put in the offer code SHOP10 for your 10% discount. Funko through CSPN. Do it today. And now, the news. I'm doing a lot of switching. This is glorious even. Actually, we're just going to do it like that. Booyah. And we start off with the cinematic news as we do about this time. Let's see. All right. DC Studios reportedly developing Plastic Man with an all-star director. So, a new report is shedding light on a rumor that has been swirling around the DC universe for over a year. We're talking about there's James Gunn preparing for Man of Tomorrow, and Peacemaker's winding down, wound down at this point. And apparently, a movie focusing on one of the more humorous members of the Justice League might not be out of the question. So, apparently, per superhero hype, Gunn, back in February 2024, replying to rumors that stated there was an upcoming casting call for Ruthie in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, also said that there were 3 more movies that were in development. One of those were a Plastic Man film that was going to be directed by Oscar-nominated director Darren Aronofsky. At the time, he said that there were more movies in the works based on Teen Titans and Sergeant Rock, which I know there is been some movement on that Sergeant Rock one. I'm not sure about the Teen Titans one since then. But yes, all of those I do remember. I feel like we remember hearing about those then. So, oh, here's a quote. At least one of those things is not true. Have fun guessing. Gunn wrote on the social media on Threads. It's been close to 2 years since the post, and since then, Supergirl, Ruthie and Supergirl has been cast. DC Studios has confirmed that both Teen Titans and Sergeant Rock films are in development, and now some rumor site is saying that that Plastic Man might also be in development. So, and then it goes into speculation as to who this article would want to play Plastic Man. Plastic Man would be a weird one to do, but then again, that's kind of weirdness is abound around these camps. Next up, all right, folks, trying to get rid of some tabs. I have a lot of tabs open, folks. Y'all just don't know, and I don't want my computer to keep screaming at me. So this is probably going to be a little fast, hopefully. Peacemaker episode. So this Peacemaker stuff, we're going to talk about this stuff next week. In fact, I should have probably put this in for next week. In fact, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to let's see. We're going to cut that stuff out. Oh, what up, Von Gloom? These butterflies waited too long. They could have casted prime Jim Carrey as Plastic Man. You know what? You're not wrong by that. And he could still, actually, he could still do it, but like an older Plastic Man. Like that. Matter of fact, he could do like the Plastic Man from that last miniseries where he was... If you haven't read it, it's weird. I believe it's a Black Label series, so it's not necessarily canon, but it was Plastic Man losing his powers, and him trying to figure out how to deal with that. And his son was I always want to call him Baby Plastic because of the cartoon, but that's not his name in DC. But yeah, his and there was some Justice League folks, like Detective Chimp was even in there for a minute for a couple of minutes. So it was a weird one if you hadn't read it, but it was actually pretty good. So so if you haven't checked that one out, it was called Plastic Man No More. So if you hadn't checked that out, do so. So that one would probably be an interesting one, but also that would. Well, actually, I was about to say, because you would want to establish the character first, but being that the way James Gunn is handling things, it seems like the world is off and running, then it could very much work. Because it's like, you know what, people are already in the world, we just ain't seen them yet. So yeah, his son was in there, and I still want to call him Penny because of the old. If you hadn't watched the old Plastic Man cartoon from back in the 80s, like early 80s, late 70s, something like that, it's funny. I don't know. So, or they could do If he's just starting out, Plas might be too old. Yeah, maybe. Or like I said, it could still be him by like flashing back. So he could still play old Plas, but then they get somebody new to play younger version of him or something. I don't know. They could do it. Like, it's still a weird one to do though, because it's Plastic Man. Plastic Man is a weird character. It's like I guess, even though Plastic Man predates Deadpool and in any such characters, the comparisons to Deadpool would be there, so, but like, yeah, Plastic Man was kind of Deadpool before Deadpool was way before Deadpool in tone. So anyway, but next up, despite having a great Rotten Tomatoes score and reaching #1 on Disney Plus, this animation studio behind Marvel's Eyes of Wakanda show has filed for bankruptcy. And that's terrible. So apparently that the Eyes of Wakanda was the last project for Access Studios who did the animation for Eyes of Wakanda. And that sucks. This is a Saturday afternoon, so I can cuss, but I just trying not to. According to Forbes, the Scotland-based studio, which provided the hand-painted animation style for Eyes of Wakanda, has collapsed into administration, which is the U.S. equivalent of filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The Black Panther spin-off series marks the final chapter for this project for the studio, which has also worked on video games like Halo, League of Legends, and episodes of Netflix's Love, Death, and Robots. So, let's see. Artist Ariana Queren recently shared art from the Marvel show, writing that, quote, "This project holds special meaning for me, not only because creatively I had lots of fun, but also because it was one of the final shows developed at Access Studios before it closed its doors." So that sucks because, one, I would have loved more Eyes of Wakanda, and obviously with that studio. But, I guess, yeah, that really, really sucks. But if you haven't seen Marvel's Eyes of Wakanda on Disney Plus, hey, you should check it out because it's really great. You really should. Next up, though, because I'm trying to speed, I have a lot of tabs open, so that's why I'm trying to speed through some of this. And plus, I actually I'm slightly pressed for time. So, so a lot of this stuff is going to get sped through. Elizabeth Olsen is open to a Marvel return, acknowledges some feel exhausted by superhero movies, which, there's the fatigue is out there, but some people just hate. Some people are just hating, honestly. So yes, let's see. Elizabeth Olsen spoke about her career at the Hamptons International Film Fest. I did not know there was one. She has a new movie out that has nothing to do with Marvel. But let's see. Where is her quote? Here we go. She says here she remains open to doing more superhero movies. Quote, "It's something that I love and something that I always want to return to. I think the thing that's been so special about the last 5 years is that I've gotten to do much with the characters that I've never thought I would. There are still character through lines that have happened in the comics that I'd love to do, and I think fans would also want." Yeah, she has mentioned this before, and that's kind of what I love about her, because she was like, yeah, she rattled off a couple of them that was like, okay, yeah, probably doing Children's Crusade, maybe going into the catalyst for Age of Apocalypse or something like that, or but hey, this is what it is. And another quote is, these movies aren't for critics, these movies are for fans, also, which feels slightly like a dig, but also a notable one, because but even some so-called fans are the problem. Let's see. Elsewhere in the conversation, the actress recalled that she felt very lucky and scared to join the franchise as Wanda over a decade ago. And also mentions and kind of goes on there to talk about WandaVision and whatnot. So yeah, hey, make it happen, man. Make it happen. okay, I gotta read about that later on. Let's see. Next up, though, Marvel previews Meta Wonder Man and other stuff recently. So yeah, so a couple of these are coming out, stuff that came out during New York Comic Con, because like I said, I'm recording on Saturday and I did catch a couple of bits. So that's why there's a whole lot of news, more than what there would have been, even though there's a lot anyway. So I'm kind of glad I caught some of this, even though. So I saw the Wonder Man thing, but I didn't watch the teaser trailer. So I haven't seen that yet. So we'll probably talk a little bit more about that a little bit next week. But apparently there was some stuff about Daredevil Born Again and more X-Men 97 news coming out of New York Comic Con. So let's see. Brad Winderbaum was talking, of course, so who describes Wonder Man as a meta live action Disney Plus series in the sense that, quote, is a story about acting and the journey of an actor in Hollywood. We know Abdul Mateen, Yahya Abdul Mateen II is the Wonder Man of note here. So, you know, let's see. It says here an upcoming reboot of a classic Wonder Man project from his youth. I'm not sure what that means, but the story is a two-hander between Simon and Trevor Slattery, who bond over their shared love of acting. So yeah, we knew Trevor Slattery is going to be in this joint. And apparently the date for Wonder Man is shifting to January, according to this Entertainment Weekly article. So as Wonderbaum explains, they took their nod from WandaVision, which debuted in January 2021. We don't want it to get swallowed up by people watching Home Alone and Die Hard and Elf, which, who's still watching Elf at this point? Let me stop. That's not wrong. Die Hard, Home Alone, Christmas movie, we all know. But I feel like there's probably another reason why it got pushed, and it had nothing to do with that. Because let's face it, people are still going to watch those regardless. And I can't think of anything else that is like new coming out this December. So there's probably another reason for that, but it's a legit reason also. Excuse me, and a legit enough reason, let's put it that way. So let's see. Also, there was a first look at Daredevil Born Again season 2. Let's see, and this is just going into an interview, so we're not gonna go any further than that. And there's some but you can check it out in these show notes, because there's some stuff in there about X-Men 97 as well. Predator Badlands trailer shows major connections to Aliens series. So the final trailer is here for Dan Trachtenberg's Predator Badlands. I haven't watched that yet either. So and apparently, according to this article, Trachtenberg might have outdone his last film, Prey, which was great. So this movie does what no Predator film has done before, according to this article, making the alien hunter the protagonist and not the villain, which we knew that about that. So he's being joined by a synthetic android played by Elle Fanning, which is coming from the Way You camp. So that is definitely from the Aliens universe, if anything else. Which now I got to see how that. I mean, Aliens and Predator has always had some real loose ties at a certain point, and even at the very least one homage to each other. And so that would be. It'd be interesting to basically just go ahead and say, here we go. It is absolutely in the same universe. So, Von Gloon, you stupid. You stupid for that one. We need Chris Hansen in a Predator movie. Boy, you dumb. That's pretty good, though. So there's a poster for Predator Badlands as well as a synopsis. Let's see. So I'll just go ahead and read this real quick, and you can see it. If you're watching the video version, you can see the poster right there for Predator's Badlands. Looks pretty good. Set on a future on a deadly remote planet, Badlands follows a young predator outcast played by newcomer Demetrius Schuster Kualamantanji. I apologize if I butchered that name. Who finds an unlikely ally in Thea, who is Elle Fanning, and as he embarks on a treacherous journey, I can read, I promise. Treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversaries, which I'm sure if that adversary ends up being, xenomorphs, sounds like as what they're, what could very well be. Hey, just saying. Von Gloom says we need to see Replicant since it's in the same universe. Wait, Replicant is in the same universe as well? That would be a movie night thing in the Discord, but not saying there is a Discord, which, Anyway, Xenomorph born from replicants. Oh, interesting. I did not know about that one. Predator is giving it is kind of giving Highlander vibes, Viking vibes with this poster. So, and it's going to be a young predator. So it's going to be, a less seasoned jerk. He's just going to be, it's kind of, if you think about it, it might necessarily be kind of like Prey, but from the other side, I guess. Wait, I've seen Blade Runner and Aliens. So what set that up? So you saying Replicants is the one that sets up that Blade Runner and Aliens in the same universe? That's a new one on me. But anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next one. And they're talking here about Alien Earth, which I still haven't seen because I don't have a FX. But and they also mentioned the AVP movies from the past, which. Yeah, that stuff's not canon, but hey, it can be again if they just really want to do it. But next up, killing Tuvix was an easy choice, says Kate McGrew, as she and Tim Russ talk Star Trek Voyager controversy. This keeps coming up, and I don't know how and why it's a controversy. So you got me on that one. Anyway, So she was asked, so this is from a Trek to New Jersey convention earlier, apparently, last month, where both Kate McGrew and Tim Russ were. Let's see, they were asked about the infamous and controversial episode that has sparked 1,000 online memes. I don't know about 1,000, but there's been some there. If you don't know that story, hey, Tuvok and Neelix end up in a transport accident and get melded together. And spoiler alert for a decades-old show, the character gets killed and the two get split apart again somehow. So, yeah. Honestly, it was an abomination in the first place. So, yeah. Let's see, the audience member who sparked the conversation with McGrew didn't even have a question. She just wanted to offer some solidarity by telling the actress that Tuvix had it coming. McGrew did not hold back by saying, Janeway did the only thing she could. Was she going to keep Tuvix over those two guys? I love those two guys. Easy choice. I had to make it look tough, though, but easy. And then it kind of goes on from there, and that's kind of funny. And apparently, hey, Tim Russ agrees with the decision. So, hey, go for it. It was an abomination. If you've seen the episode, it very much was. Next up, I did not watch this as well. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome Alone 2, Lost in New Jersey. First look was shown at New York Comic Con. So yeah, this is a short going into, I guess, the next movie. What up, Benji Games? How's it going, good sir? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. So yeah, it's directed by Kent Seki. It takes the beloved characters out of their comfort zone and drops them into an unlikely setting, mixing slapstick humor, gritty animation, and unexpected heart, according to this article. The short film follows the turtles as they attempt to navigate the Garden State after a mishap sends them far from New York roots. Which is kind of funny because in the comic books, they also ended up in Jersey recently. So, coincidence? I think not. You know, but this is a young version. I still have not seen the last movie. Actually, I haven't seen the last few Turtles movies. So that's just me. But I heard good things about this last one. You know, quote here, we wanted to honor Ninja Turtles history while asking what would happen if we put them somewhere completely unfamiliar. Seki told the Variety, New Jersey came the perfect and closest backdrop because it's so close to New York, yet it has its own energy and quirks that challenge the Turtles in new ways. So therein lies that, and it kind of goes into something. I don't know. I assume this is probably going to be on Paramount Plus or something. I don't see where this is or whether this is going to be shown in this article, because it pretty much basically runs through what happens during the whole thing, and we don't have to do that because you can probably watch it for yourself. Or is it attached to this article? I don't think it is. It is not. So yeah, let us assume Paramount Plus or YouTube, one of those two places. That's where it's going to be shown. As we move on to Invincible Season 4 finally gets a release date. Huzzah. And there's a trailer that came out during your Comic-Con, of course. So the date that we have is, let's see, the first trailer for Invincible Season 4, and announced it would appear March 26, 2026, which we kind of knew, I believe, because we talked about something fairly recently that kind of made all that make sense. Was literally ready to ask where it's streaming. Yeah, I'm not, it didn't necessarily say in the article, so, you know, it might not even be out, because it might, because it was shown at Comic-Con, you know, it might not be up anywhere yet. It'll probably come out at some point. We'll, you know us, we're going to keep you posted. So, but, let's see, the trailer for Invincible Season 4 mostly acts as a recap of the events of Season 3, which saw Invincible taking on alternate dimension versions of himself. Y'all know, y'all seen it, y'all remember. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the whole thing with Conquest and Adam Eve in the fight, showing her bits. Let's see. And this article kind of goes into what you can see from Invincible Season 4, which was from the trailer. And I will not go into that because I have not watched the trailer yet. Again, like I said, I've gathered all this news and hadn't seen a whole lot of this, unfortunately. But we may or may not talk. Oh, here we go. We're gonna put that in for next week. We'll definitely be talking about stuff next week on the show. If I have anything to say about it, let's see. One should expect mutants and abominations to come from New Jersey. That is talking as a New Yorker that said that. So that's Von Klum. But yeah, March 2026 is when the next season is going to happen, which we kind of knew. They mentioned Invincible, the fighting game, as well as the tabletop RPG, which we've talked about in previous shows. So we don't necessarily need to talk about that right now. Amazon Prime Video quietly scrubs gunless James Bond artwork after online backlash. I did not know this was a thing until I saw this, so this was dumb. So apparently Amazon Prime Video had I want to say airbrush, because that's not the right term. They AI'd out or whatever they did to scrub out his gun from the Dr. No poster. Which, why? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Deadline has confirmed that the original artwork was replaced by stills from the Ian Fleming spy movies over the weekend, following a social media backlash that coincided with James Bond Day. I did not know that was a thing. On October 5th. Prime Video, of course, declined to comment on the matter. So, and I guess on Friday, some UK Bond fans noticed that, yeah, they use airbrush here, so never mind. So, yeah, that the that the gun was airbrushed art, which reminds me of watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's any part where they have a gun in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or animes like that that got edited out. You just see them pointing their fingers at the character, specifically Kaiba in the case that I'm thinking about, and all you see is this. Or whenever they like hit, and no, this character got punched, but did they get pushed or what? I don't know. We didn't see it, but that is always dumb to me. So it's like, I get why you did it, but it was still stupid. Anyway, apparently Dr. No and Pierce Brosnan as Goldeneye both got airbrushed out. So that's real dumb. But apparently it's changed since then. So, all right. Next up. Hey, if you want to live stream some of the panels from New York Comic Con's main stage for free, Popverse got you covered. It's out there on YouTube. Probably on Popverse's site. But then again, and Marvel, I'm fairly certain Marvel's probably live streaming, saving the panels for their stuff also. So that stuff's probably also out there because they usually pretty good about that, especially like their podcast and One Big Thing panels and whatnot. So, but if you're interested, this article mentions some of the stuff that they have, that they're doing. I'm sure they have they've done stuff so far. So, but this is the stuff they've done that they've recorded from the main stage. So you can check that stuff out on Popverse if you so choose. Disney Plus announces. Oh, actually, that just reminded me of something. Shoot, I apologize, folks. I need to go get something very, very quick. So I'm gonna have to edit this out. Be right back. And I'm back. They erase the guns and keep the misogyny. Yeah, Von Gloom, you know how it goes. I mean, you can't really erase that. That's kind of hard to do because that's not 80% of the film. Which, hey, back in the day, it was something. All right, folks. So, next article. Disney Plus announces dynamic app for redesign for iOS and TiVos? TVOs? Why does it say TVOs? TVOs are not a thing anymore, are there? I'm going to assume TVs. So, Disney Plus announced last week that beginning October 8th, Hulu will replace Star. I'm going to have to do some, we're going to do that. All of this goes. Apologies for just setting up something for an article in a little bit. But anyway, Disney announced last week that beginning October 8th, Hulu will replace Star as the company's global general entertainment brand. This change prompts a new brand new unified app experience. In the coming weeks and months, Disney Plus will roll out several changes to the app. They already have because Hulu's already in it. But that includes simpler navigation and UX design, more personalized recommendations, and more dynamic and visual homepage. So yeah, and then this article kind of goes into all the changes you can expect from it. So if you have Disney Plus and you see it change in the next couple of weeks more than it already has, then you know why. Alrighty. Next up, though, Godzilla Fest 2025 to unleash Burning Millennium Godzilla. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think I have a Godzilla thing. I know I do, actually, but probably not on here. It's just as well. So yeah. Let's see. So yeah, this there's a big step. The next big step in Godzilla's whatever happens goes on next with Godzilla will arrive at this year's Godzilla Fest 2025, where fans will meet a brand new version of the legendary beast called Burning Millennium Godzilla. The annual event held on November 3rd in Tokyo will debut a fresh short film that introduces this very fiery new take on the kaiju icon. According to Godzilla's Fest official description, the all-new special effects film Fez Godzilla series has become a regular feature at Godzilla Fest. This series, which concluded with the great acclaim at last year's Godzilla Fest 2024, is now being relaunched with a new look. So, director Nakagawa Kazuhiro will continue to direct the latest film, and Suzuki Fuku, known for his love of special effects films, has been confirmed to appear, according to this. So, let's see, this new version of Godzilla, complete with blazing chest, is designed to enhance his power and give us another action figure. Marks an exciting evolution for the creature. Even though this is a short film, Toho isn't treating it like a small project. So, yeah, they're putting some resources behind this. So that's pretty cool. And I'm sure, you know, if we get to see this short stateside and this figure stateside, then yeah, we'll let y'all know. And now we get into some anime corner. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero's English dub cast. I think that was the whole title up until English dub cast. So yeah, this is the English dub crew for that anime. Why are anime titles so freaking long? Good God. Or excuse me, anime and manga titles so damn long. It's stupid long. But anyway, this is the if you're watching the video version, is the voice cast scrolling through. I'm not gonna name all of this stuff. It's not that I'm anti-dub, it's just that it's a long list and I don't know half of these people. So therein lies that. Do we get some, when do we get, I assume that this is already on Crunchyroll at this point. And this is just the dub being the dub that is coming to the platform. Oh yeah. So it's the first episode of the dub is already on Crunchyroll because this is from last week. Next up, Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze Arc. I'm saying Reze, I don't know if it's what it is, but Reze Arc releases new visual featuring its leading lady. The film is going to premiere in the US on October 24th. I still need to see if I need to catch up, how much of Chainsaw Man I need to catch up for, because I think I'm caught up, but I'm not sure. The text on the poster reads, "No one knows a girl's heart." Let's see. So yeah, there you go. You know what? Honestly, that's the two things we need to know. There's what the character looked like, and we're going to see it over here in the States. So there you go. And it's already out in Japan, so therein lies that. Also, Chainsaw Man, the movie, is going to get a 3D screening in the US. So, you know, it's already coming to IMAX and standard theaters, and it's getting a real 3D screening in theaters. Well, it says here when it opens on hang on for a second. Did that? Yeah. Okay. No, I was right. I'm tripping. October 24th. So yeah, it's going to. It's also getting 3D viewings, which I don't know. Sure, it works. I guess I'm not one for 3D stuff, so I'm not gonna see it like that. One Punch Man season 3 release date is I'm not sure if we had that information prior to now, but let's see. Episode 1 premieres in Japan on October 12th at a very specific time, 11:45 p.m. Japanese time. The episode is titled "The Strategy Meeting." Excuse me, and this talks about confusion about an October 5th date, but nope. So the confirmed official release is October 12th, and new episodes will release weekly on Sundays until the end of December 2025, and it's going to be 12 episodes. So there we go. Okay, so I don't know why that's there. Let's see. It will stream on Hulu and Disney Plus starting on October 12th, which is, yeah. Which is the thing I wanted to know, where that was going to stream, because I figured it could have easily been Crunchyroll. And I'm kind of surprised that it's not, honestly. And it goes into... Actually, wait, I don't know if this is legit. I don't know if this is legit or not, but if it is, yeah, sure. Okay. Next up, and then it goes into where you can watch in other places, but you know what? This is a US show. New Digimon series forced to change name after Black Clover connection. So, I still need to watch this, actually. Digimon Beat Break has been forced to rename its main team of heroes. So, I guess it's not the Digidestin anymore, or probably hasn't been in quite a long time. But then again, I think that was like a US edit thing. Let's see. All signs point to Black Clover being the reason. As details about the series were revealed to fans, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once here, and that's not working. There we go, and that should take care of that. That. There we go. Excellent. Some of this I should have had already set up. But anyway, and I got a lot of editing to do. So let's see. As details about the series were revealed to fans, it was established that the main group of humans and Digimon Beat Break were centered around would be known as Golden Dawn. Yet in an official statement by Toei Animation, their name was changed to Glowing Dawn, which, yeah, that's different, without any explicit explanation, leaving fans to speculate over whether it's due to Golden Dawn's tie to Black Clover. I've never watched Black Clover, so I could not tell you one way or another. And I don't know why it even matters, but that's just me. So, Avant Gloom says, Digimon, Pokemon's Jan Brady. That's funny. I did not realize how big Digimon was for certain folks until fairly recent, because the new video game just came out, and there have been people that are all alone that outside of people who are just doing that for views, you know, but there are people who are actual real big fans of Digimon, and it's wild. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Digimon back in the day as well. I really kind of want to go back and watch a couple of the series, but you know, Digimon, Pokemon, it's all mine. Friend of mine actually just showed me a video that has nothing to do with Digimon, but it was like Cell. You might have seen it. I think it's out there on Instagram or whatever. It's like Cell going up against, or Ash, excuse me, going up against Cell, thinking Cell is a Pokemon, and the whole back and forth with that. That was pretty funny. If I find it, I'll put it in the show notes, but I don't know if I can find it. Either way, so yeah, Digimon Beat Break is out there. I think it's, you know, and you can check it out. I will at some point. Crunchyroll botches My Hero Academia Season 8 premiere weekend with hours-long delay and missing subtitles, apparently. So, yeah, I guess. So this was from, what, last week, I think? Yeah, October 6th. Or this was from Monday. So this is from last weekend. So despite being listed for release at the according to this article, the ungodly hour of 2:30 a.m. Pacific, 5:30 a.m. Eastern, the first episode of My Hero Academia Season 8 didn't show up for subscribers until some 10 hours later. Confusingly, the episode did appear on Prime Video's Crunchyroll channel at the correct time. That's funny. To make matters worse, some viewers were left without English subtitles for the Japanese language version. Yeah, that's kind of hard if you like the subs. A situation that only is rectified later and described as as embarrassing. So apparently, there's been other. Apparently, there's been Crunchyroll has had complaints in the past. This is nothing new. So yeah. But it is what it is. Thanks, Sony. Just kidding. Von Glum says those selling Kermit the Frog videos are insane. Kermit the Frog videos. I didn't know about that one, but those ones. But yeah, that Cellvision. That one had me kind of crying. Not cackling, crying, but kind of had me cackling. Next up, though. Okay, so here's where I was trying to get to now. Crunchyroll Manga, the first list of every series you can read right now. All 200 plus manga icons. So hang on, I'm going to try to do, I don't remember how I did this. Or I don't remember where I did this. Here we go. So as you can see, I have the new app. We talked about the new manga app last week. And this is on my iPad here, so hopefully I don't have, there shouldn't be anything incriminating on here, but, you know, the app's like not different. It's got, of course, the popular stuff that you would expect. You know, there's some Bleach here. You know, One Piece is down. I didn't mean to do that. Don't put me there. Bungo Stray Dogs, which I kind of want to read. You know, My Hero's in here, I think, but, so yeah, the article, though, which is right here, has a list of all of the titles from the companies that you can check out. Again, like I said, you know, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demons of the Shadow Rainbow, like going through all of this, Apothecary Diaries, Delicious in Dungeons, you know, stuff on stuff, on stuff, on stuff. My Dress Up Darling, you know, because I know that's one that some people like. But it's just a whole list. I wish Sakamoto Days was in here because that one would be one I would want to check out. But I think that is and I know more stuff is going to get added. So that's not. I'm not really. You know, Spy Family is in here. Naruto, JJK, Haikyuu. I know Agent 7 is going to be happy about that. Black Clover, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of Bungo Stray Dogs, which if you haven't watched Bungo Stray Dogs, it's pretty good. And I say that as only watched like probably 2 seasons. Or a season and a half as I remember correctly. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff in here. So you should be able to find something you're looking for. Again, this is not me shilling for Crunchyroll, but this is doing doing due diligence. But yeah, like I said, here's the app. I don't think so. With the app, of course, comes I don't know if I can push through this. So yeah, here's how it looks. This looks like other anime apps. This almost kind of looks like their old app, honestly, which their old app is still out there as far as I know. As you can see down at the bottom, I have to get premium to read because I just have the anime portion of Crunchyroll right now, and with this they bumped up the prices, which, you know, of course they did because it is what it is. You can make a list, which I don't have. You can kind of browse some stuff by popularity. You know, you can do your account stuff, which I'm not going to go in there. You know, stuff and things. Let me see. Can I actually, does it give you like a free one that I can just, like the first one that I can kind of push through? Yeah, I didn't think so. And you can download to read later, you know, the standard stuff you would want in a manga app. So there is that, folks. But along with that, of course, is the new pricing for this stuff. So this is the monthly pricing. We don't care about that. Well, actually, no, we'll talk about that. So for monthly, it's, we talked about this last week. So therein lies that. So This is with manga, so basically the price goes up like $3 to $4 depending on which version you get. So the fan plus manga is $11.99 a month, $15.49 a month, $14.49 for a month for the mega, and the ultimate tier is $15.99, which doesn't change because that's the only one that doesn't change because that's pretty much just got everything. And of course, like I said, that gives you everything, including they basically just included the manga stuff in there for quote unquote free with the ultimate tier. You're just paying a little bit more for fan and the mega fan too. And of course the yearly, which normally I would do. So basically the fan tier is the price of the old mega fan tier, or the mega fan tier without anime. Without manga. So because the mega fan tier is $120 a year, you know, like I said, just for the anime. So it kind of doesn't make any sense unless you, well, it does and it doesn't, I guess. If you want the manga version, the 120 version per year is probably okay, because you can't download and watch anime with that. If you need to download and watch anime, that's a whole nother situation. You know, you're going to end up paying, you know, $30 more for that, or $34 more for that, or whatever. So, and the ultimate tier, I believe, is still the same as what it ever was, with everything in it. And of course, there's a 7-day free trial if you want to do that as well. Again, not shilling for Crunchyroll, but, you know, doing due diligence on this stuff, and probably taking a little bit too much time doing it, because, oops, yes. Yeah. So, so yeah, those are the plans for that. You know, your mileage may vary. I don't know. I do want to try this out, but I don't read that much manga. So I might just do the 7-day trial and try it out and see how I feel about it, and, you know, whether it's going to keep me, because I already read a lot as it is. So in comics, with comics and other stuff. So now that I can do that, I can get rid of that. But yeah, like I said, that's all. You can check that out. I might break this out into its own thing, actually. And we now get into the manga corner, like I said. But Nang Shim launches K-pop Demon Hunters Ramen in U.S. retailers. We talked about this like a week or two ago. So yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters Ramen's out there. Catch it. Limited edition. It's at Costco, Walmart, Kroger, and H Mart. If you are lucky, one of those lucky folks to have an H Mart. I am not, but we do have a fairly decent number of Asian markets around here. So therein lies that. Marvel Comics shares My Hero Academia tribute artwork inspired by Miles Morales, according to this article. And it's Bakugo doing Bakugo things, but okay, he's got the Miles kicks going on. I guess we're led to believe that there's a thwip going on. So yeah. Let's see. This is from Twitter, which says, it's finally here to celebrate the launch of the final season of My Hero Academia. Marvel and MHA teams up once again to bring you Bakugo like you've never seen him before. This new tribute art was created by Olivier Coipel and was inspired by Miles Morales. So if you're watching the video version, you can see the picture there alongside the tweets. Looks good, or either, you know, hey, Coipel does some great art, so not surprising that it looks good. So apparently series creator Kohei Korikoshi previously drew Peter Parker's Spider-Man in an official art exchange with Marvel, for which Coipel was originally meant to provide an illustration before withdrawing due to illness. So yeah, therein lies that. So cool stuff. Next up, though, we get into the comic book news. Yeah. Marvel announces a new Moon Knight series for February 2026. So this is probably, this came out like the day before New York Comic Con, so we might hear a little bit more about that next week from from Marvel or whatnot. But the Moon Knight series will be continued to be written by Jed McKay, with Dev Malia Pramanik as the artist, and covers by E.M. Gist. So it sounds like it's just the same creative team as this as the current one. So, and this news looks like it came out from Retailers Day at New York Comic Con. So that's probably about as official as it's going to get. And yeah, we'll get to the rest of that in a second. And it's just going to be called Moon Knight, I guess. There you go. Marvel officially ends its Ultimate Universe in 2026. We kind of already knew that with the stuff that's popping off in December, but you know, this is, I guess, more official confirmation. So yeah, we got a little poster here, which is a trailer poster, which we've seen this before though, about that whole Ultimate Endgame situation that is starting in December. And apparently, so we got May from Ultimate X-Men. So I guess they are putting some of that Ultimate X-Men stuff in the mix. So that's cool. Let's see. Yeah, talk about Popverse. Has confirmed all Ultimate titles are ending in an event called Ultimate Endgame, which again we kind of knew because this is the stuff that's starting next month. Ultimate Spider-Man officially ends with 24. Ultimate Black Panther ends in January 2026. Ultimate X-Men's wrapping up in February, and Ultimates is ending in April. Let's see. Ultimate Wolverine will also end with April's April's issue 16, and the whole thing will conclude with April's Ultimate Endgame number 5. Let's see. So after the release of the April titles, the CB Cebulski confirms that it's for the line. Strong sales are not. You think we're lying? We're not. However, he confirmed that elements from the Ultimate Universe, which actually progressed in real time, will bleed into the 616, because of course it will. That's how we got Miles. But what those elements will remain a mystery, but also probably has something to do with Miles coming back and bringing those origin boxes. I suspect. Just me. I don't know. Next up, Oni Press unveils a new logo that you can actually read according to this article in advance of NYCC. If you're watching the video version, there is the logo. Sure, it looks better than IDW's, honestly. So there you go. Next up, Adventure Time Fiona and Cake Season 2 set for October 23rd. And actually, I put this in the wrong place, but that's fine. Let's see. This is so yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So Fiona and Cake is getting another season. They're going to be talking about it at NYCC, or they did talk about it at NYCC, or I guess will be. Excuse me. At this article probably has by now. I would suspect. So there you go. If you were a fan of Adventure Time / Fiona and Cake, that stuff is out there. Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees to get a third volume as IDW mints a hit franchise. Let's see. So it's currently in the midst of his second story volume, the Eisner Award nominated title, written and drawn by Patrick Horvath. Has seen sales so strong, so what began as an unexpected hit will be getting a third volume. Quote, back when I was working on the first issue, it was apparent that there was so much more you could do with this world, says Horvath. As I started to imagine what the rippling consequences might be for the second volume, I realized it was going to be hard to stop. I'm thrilled I get to continue the story into a third volume. I'm tempted to say more about what comes next, but I don't want to ruin any surprises. So, hey, if you've been following that book, congratulations. How Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 13 kicks off a bold new era for the franchise. Excuse me. So yeah, some preview pages for 13 for which is coming up. I can't tell you what I've read from this week just yet, but let's just say one of them has to do with the name of the network that the show is on, associated with, let's just say. No surprise there. And actually, hopefully, I hope to have something else by next week. That'll be interesting. But anyway, so yeah, this article is talking about issue 13, which is coming out, which sees a change in creative team. You got Gene Yang and Freddie E. Williams II taking over. So, the art's going to be different. The story might be a little bit different. Also, we don't know yet. But hey, both of those creators are pretty good at what they do. So there you go. If you're watching the video version, you can see some not finished art from 13. So there you go. Next up, excuse me. Hey, folks. If you, like me, are of a certain vintage and know the name Thundarr the Barbarian, well, congratulations. You're old. But also, there's going to be yet another cartoon that gets a comic book from, of course, Dynamite Entertainment. So yeah, Thundarr the Barbarian is getting the comic book treatment now, and it's going to be written by Jason Aaron. So I guess we found out where he went after Turtles. And longtime Dynamite artist Kuber Ball, which covers by Michael Cho, Rob Liefeld, Dan Panosian, Francesco Martina, Joseph Michael Linzer, Bjorn Barons, and more. The new series will launch in January. So Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla will be back. Actually, and you know what? That Blue Falcon book that came out fairly recently, I still have yet to have a chance to read it. So I need to check that out. Von Gloom says, "Make a Mightor comic, you cowards." You know what? I feel like at some point they're going through all the Ruby Spears stuff. So you know what? They're probably going to get there, and the Hanna-Barbera stuff. So it's probably going to happen. I would love to see a Team Force book, honestly. That's just me. And I feel like what they've been setting up with Space Ghost, it's got to happen. I don't need an Astro and the Space Dogs, though, so I'm good. Anyway, so yeah, Thundarr the Barbarian gets a book. That'll be January. That's going to be interesting. Of course, I'm going to read it. Greg Weisman and Tad Stone's Gargoyles Darkwing Duck crossover for 2026, because of course that's going to happen. So Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck unite for a first ever comic book crossover, coming from Dynamite Entertainment in 2026. I will get to that comment in a second. Let's see. So the series is co-written by original creators Greg Weisman and Tad Stones, marking Stones' return after 15 years. Iconic characters like Goliath, Elsa, and Darkwing Duck face off after a magical threat links their worlds. So you know Morgana's probably going to be involved, I would assume. And let's see, stellar art and covers by Ciro Cangialosi, Ivan Bergarelli, and more. So the fuck, it just got dangerous. More dangerous. So you know what, honestly, I can safely say this was a crossover I did not expect to see, despite the fact of the synergy that was already there in the Disney branding. So that's funny. And I'm going to be checking that out. And actually I need to catch up on the Darkwing Duck book that is out now. Because like I said, there's a whole lot of books and some of that stuff we don't get in a timely manner because of reasons, but more stuff for next week. And definitely more stuff for next week. Sorry, just pulling stuff for next week. You know how I do. And keep moving with. So yeah, when is this happening? This is 2026. It does say. I don't think we get any other date outside of that. But yeah, Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck. That's going to be amusing. Next up, though, Speaking of crossovers, Superman and Spider-Man reunite. DC and Marvel extend crossover through 2026. This goes into the original Superman and Spider-Man crossover, which apparently is 50 years old. Holy hell, I did not know I was older than that. That is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So let's see. Oh, so there's going to be 2 oversized Treasure Edition facsimiles. On January 7th, 2026, DC will publish Treasure Edition 50th Anniversary of Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man #1, which is a reprint of the issue of the same name. Let's see. And followed on February 4th of 2026, DC and Marvel presents Superman and Spider-Man Treasure Edition #1. I was going to make a joke and say they stole our Treasure Edition name, but we got it from that stuff. So which is a reprint of the Marvel side of that. A reprint of Marvel Treasure Edition #28, bringing along long out of print stories. Another long out of print story back to shelves. And it don't stop there. This spring, DC and Marvel will launch 2 new one-shots spotlighting the legendary duo. DC is going to take the lead in March with Superman Spider-Man #1, followed by Marvel's Spider-Man Superman #1 in April. While creative teams and story details have yet to be revealed, both issues promise fresh, original stories that honor the legacy of these cultural icons while charting new ground. And then it goes to talk about the Deadpool Batman stuff, which I still have not read and probably will not. But I heard there's also a couple of good backstories in there, or side stories in there. That was pretty good. So maybe I will. But yeah, that's coming. Next up, iconic artist Jim Lee takes firm anti-AI stance at DC Comics. I saw this tweet, or I saw a tweet about this. So, here we go. Let me see. The threat of AI looms over all art and creative endeavors these days. Let's see. Jim Lee was talking to, via Comic Book Club, we learned that Jim Lee has taken a firm stance that the company will never use AI unless they get caught. That's just me saying that. A position he shared when speaking at the pre-NYCC Retailers Summit. Here's what he had to say. That's the point. The smudge, the rough line, the hesitation. That's what makes my art come alive. AI doesn't dream, feel, or make art. It aggregates. And he's an artist, so you know what? And I'm happy that is his stance. You know. So and that my little joke about getting caught was slightly a joke. Because sometimes companies be doing some stuff that, you know, sometimes go under the radar until they get caught. But anyway, let's see. Aside from being the person in charge of DC, yeah, we'll just go into a little bit of Jim Lee backstory. So yeah, there is that. He has a stance, and there's a quote here from, or there's that same quote from that was off of Blue Sky, which I think is what I saw. So there you go. There's Jim Lee's stance on AI. DC to finally let Swamp Thing meet Jesus Christ. In a new 4-part restoration of a canceled controversial 89 storyline. So I've seen a couple of articles about this. This is told the Rick Veitch story that got killed or canceled, excuse me. So let's see. Yeah, it's a 4-issue series written by Rick Veitch and artists Michael Zulli, Vince Locke, and Tom Mandrake, and the colors by Trish Mulvihill, excuse me. It was originally created as issues 89 and 91 of 1980's Swamp Thing comic book, in which the title character of the series went back in time to meet Jesus Christ. Which realistically, those last 2 words was the only thing I could say about this. So controversial at the time of creation, DC management of the period pulled the stories entirely. with Veitch leaving the series entirely as a result of the decision, and now they're bringing it back. DC is not brave, because if they were brave, they would have put it out in the first place. Which I don't know if that was just being sarcastic or being. I mean, granted, them still putting out nowadays. Yes, you can definitely still say that that's, because people are real dumb nowadays more than then, and there was no internet then, so. So yeah, the fact that they're now the question is what editing of it are they going to do? Because I feel like there's probably going to be at the very least a little bit more editing on this one than not. Because I can only imagine what the original story was like back then. Hopefully the evangelicals don't find out about. Oh, they're going to find out. I'm sure they will. Those people don't matter, honestly, because they're going to rail about something. So. People are going to rail about anything that just doesn't matter to them. It's not that serious. But then again, people say not that serious when, whatever. Move right along, though. I mean, to put it out in this weird thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, you're still right. You are still right. Because, yeah, people are still people. But putting it out back then probably would have been better, because one, there was no internet, and and people and YouTube and people and Comicsgate and all those other bullshit people, whatever. That's gonna do this to get views. That's gonna, can you believe this? Just to get views. So anyway, Don Mara's designs for all the Robins if they grew up to be Batman. This is stuff from DCKO, which came out this week. I haven't had a chance to read yet, but hey, if you want to see some good looking as Dan Mora designs, which, that's just Dan Mora just in general, then take a look at this article in the show notes. If you're watching the video version, you can see it. If not, you should be. Still pulling stuff for next week. And I'm actually going to put this out I'm not going to do much editing to this, so I apologize in advance. This is yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for mentioning that. This is the same DC who canceled Red Hood because the writer spoke badly about the quote great Christian martyr. Please, bullshit. Yeah, it was a bunch of bullshit right there. Bunch of political nonsense that shouldn't even be. But yeah, Damon is the easiest one to identify, but this is obviously some great, and the Red Hood one also. Yeah, some good stuff. Again, DCKO is going on right now. I will have read it. We'll probably talk about it next week if that's one of the books being chosen for next week's books. We're gonna have to do something about that one, because I know between this week and next week there's probably gonna be some a good decent sized number of books coming out. I just noticed where I pull a lot of these stories from, and I apologize about that, but this was a week. So Emerald Twilight, we're getting in some toy corner here, by the way. Emerald Twilight Green Lantern figure coming soon from McFarlane. If you're watching the video version, you can see the figure right there. Hal Jordan looking kind of maniacal, with looks like with a bunch of rings. I guess there's a different. No, that's the same one. It's got it's got the background. It got the base and whatnot. So let's see, 7 inches with 22 points of articulation available now, actually, because it's at 10/10, or it is the 11th as I'm recording this, but and it's $30. It's going to have the bunch of effects that you would expect from this. According to this, the figure recreates Hal Jordan's pivotal transformation from hero to parallax. So you are right, Von Gloom. I believe that was a 90s thing. So, and it looks like this is a Walmart Collectors Con thing. So there you go. Next up, as I try to speed through some of these, Man-Bat Fight Lies in new Batman the Animated Series Deluxe figure. There is Man-Bat right there in all his splendor. There is the box for it. This is also coming from McFarlane, also from Walmart CollectorCon. It's going to be $40, and it's also out with, the pre-orders, excuse me, are also out as of right now. Has a massive 15-inch wingspan. So yeah, they realize that if you're looking for a Man-Bat figure for some odd reason, then hey, there you go. New War World Superman Nightmare Edition debuts from McFarlane. Let's see. Oops, my apologies there. It is, it's back at McFarlane Toys. According to this, it's $30. It is out now, or pre-orders are out now. It's 7 inches, 22 points of articulation, limited only to 5,700 pieces globally. So get it while you can. And there's the figure if you're watching the video version, black and gold Superman, with the accoutrement and whatnot. That doesn't look terrible. That's, base and everything. So cool. Looks like he stole Wonder Woman's shield. Probably did. There you go. Jokerized Superman makes a twisted landing from McFarlane Toys. So there is the Jokerized Superman, if you're watching the video version, with kryptonite chains. Or I assume fake kryptonite chains. I don't know. Joker cards, another set of hands. Let's see. It is 22 points of articulation, collectible art cards. Let's see. Fabric cape, of course, because that's the fabric cape is the thing. And of course, this also came from Walmart CollectorCon. $30 out now, or pre-order now, whichever one it shall be. But yes. Next up, new Superman's Brainiac figure coming soon from McFarlane Toys. Running the numbers. Here's the figure. That is definitely the Super Friends version of Brainiac. Let's see. It is up for pre-order now. It is $22.99. Has an October release date of this year. The release date. So, so it should be out any day now. Let's see. Includes classic show-inspired accessories, a Legion of Doom radio, cloaking device ray, and a collectible art card. Let's see. So there you go. All we need is the rest of the Legion of Doom and the base, and some swamp, and the Hall of Justice, and you know I'm going with all of that. I mean, the Super Friends figures are already out, but so anyway, Red Hood takes on Gotham with new Mezco Toys 112 figure. Here's old Jason Todd right there. There's the figure. There's him and Deathstroke. There's him with the accoutrement right there. It is $116. You can join the wait list, and it's set to ship after New York Comic Con. So in the next couple of days, I would imagine. And like I said, it's $116 if you are so into that. The wait list is live and it ships after New York Comic Con. So yeah, get in or don't. Next up, though, DC Comics Guardian Red Platinum Edition figure arrives from McFarlane. 22 points of articulation, art card, $24.99. Also available at Walmart's CollectorCon. So therein lies that, and it's a limited release according to that article. There is the figure right there if you're watching the video version. So yeah, if you want a Guardian figure, it's out there for you. Next up, Wonderfest 2025 Shanghai got some blockies stuff. So there's some model kits from that DC has announced out there, I guess, or was leaked out there, I guess. So there's a Batman Beyond, Nightwing, Harley Quinn. Excuse me. Yeah, these were shown at Wonderfest 2025 in Shanghai. So I guess these are things that are coming. If you're watching the video version, you can see the stuff that it comes they potentially will come with. Once they get all painted and whatnot. Or I guess these are models, so I guess you do all that yourself. Anyway, next up. In-stock alert for the Fantastic Four First Steps figures or set. So it's available to order at Target.com if you're so interested. It's got the first family with Herbie, and Baby Franklin apparently, according to this. So yeah, I don't know. Am I still going? Yes, I think so. Okay. Want to make sure it's still going because this is like sometimes Twitch be twitching. All right, cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. I don't know how much this thing is. I dare say, you know, Target's got a little funk about it these days. So I don't know. $34.99 according to Target. So if you wanted that badly, go for it. Mondo delivers a double dose of Daredevil with a new figure and poster. So let me see if we can get a good picture of here we go. There we go. There is the Marvel Spider-Man. Okay, so yeah, this is Daredevil from Marvel Spider-Man. I was about to say I thought this was from Friendly Neighborhood. Not the movie that put you to sleep. You didn't like First Steps? I thought First Steps was good, but you know, and to each of their own. So yeah, this is an animated version of Daredevil, hence the shading. You got your hands and you know your heads and your belly club and whatnot, so you can do the poses and things. So there you go. Various poses in. There's a Spider-Man for scale. Yeah, so there you go. And that's from Mondo. It's 1/6 scale. It is, let's see. The poster is a limited edition screen print of a French index off-white paper and priced at $80. Note that so never mind, because you can only get this figure at New York Comic Con. So, Von Gloom, are you not going to the show? I know you're up there, or I'm assuming you had to work. Or did you not go to the show, or are you not going to the show? I mean, that's what I meant to ask. My old ass can't stay up like I used to. Yeah, and you do work. I understand you work graveyard, so I understand. I totally understand. I've been there. So, let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh wait, this is talking about the poster. So the poster is only going to be at New York Comic Con for $80. The figure is priced at $225. There we go. That makes more sense. Slept through 95% of the movies that I took my kids to. Aw. Yeah, again, I understand dark spaces and you know what, and you working, you know what, and you got to get your rest where you can. So I understand, homie. I used to work that shift. So I absolutely understand. And you're working this weekend. I gotcha. All right, because you could have met up with Agent 70 while he was out there. Because I think he should be there right now. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Either way, this Daredevil figure is 12 inches, full range of articulation. That's again $225 from Mondo. I assume this is going to be on their site. I don't know if that also is going to be just on this at the show, but don't know. Marvel Legends pre-orders for the coming week. So there's some stuff. Yeah, the Secret Wars Iceman. There's Mysterio. There's another wave going on with, looks like it's got Enchantress. I don't know if that's even the full figure. That's just a let's see, Werewolf by Night. Hold on, let's see. Did we get some? Yeah, so there's the Secret Wars Iceman. There you go. Hopefully this has some of the other pictures. There's the Mysterio. I apologize for the clicking. Can't be helped. And then there's the rest of it, which I guess we don't get pictures for. Just like a Phantom Rider, So Ultimate Iron Man, an Enchantress. So, and I guess we don't have actual figures or photos. Crystal Warbow, I don't know who that is. So Dark Avengers Spider-Man, okay. World War II era Logan and comic-based Iron Man Mark 72. So there you go. I'm assuming we will get more on this probably by next week. Fun says, part of me wants to go to a con dressed like MF Doom, but speak like Invader Zim to throw people off. That would be real funny. That would be real funny. Yeah, the Crystal Dude from Weird World. I don't remember too much Weird World stuff, so you got me on that one. But yeah, that is the next set, I guess. This wave is rumored to be a Build-A-Figure wave, but we don't know who it's going to be. So Logan's too damn tall. What? That's just gonna forever be a thing, folks. This is just you have to deal with that, I'm afraid. And we also get some images and a video review of the Gamerverse X-Men Juggernaut figure, so you can check that out for yourself if you are so inclined. But he's the Juggernaut beat. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And yeah, this is the Marvel vs. Capcom version of Jugs. So there you go. Next up, Magic the Gathering sets for Marvel superheroes, The Hobbit, and Star Trek arrive in 2026. The reason why I brought this up, because this is an old article that I apparently must have missed. He needs to be Hobbit size, or at least, probably at least what? He's like 4'11". Actually, no, I don't think he's that short, but he's like probably at least like 5'2" at the tallest. I don't know. Because about to say 4'11", he might be like Puck at that size, but so no, he might be like 5'4" at the most, I guess. I don't know. Either ways, so yeah, Wizards of the Coast continuing to do Magic the Gathering thing. There's another thing I can't remember if I have it in the lineup here or if it's in here. So there's going to be sets for crossover sets for Marvel superheroes, which we knew that one was coming. The Hobbit. Star Trek, which is what brought me to put this article in here in the first place, because that one was the one I wasn't expecting to see. I don't know if they're going to do a Star Trek one. I mean, a Star Wars one, but I guess we'll see. Let's see. So, and then talk about the new set, Lorwyn, that's coming out next January, which, we still got to get through Atla, Avatar: The Last Airbender next month. So there we go. But yeah, and the Spider-Man set is already out, but unfortunately you can't use the paper version of the Spider-Man set in Magic Arena, which is the digital version of Magic, because they had to redo the set for some stupid reason for that. Anyway, the Marvel Superheroes Magic set cards will take things further with art featuring Thanos, Ultron, Black Panther, Iron Man, Luke Cage, Squirrel Girl, and many others. There was already a secret layer that had some of these characters already, so I'm sure some of the art from that they probably didn't use there is probably coming into this. And of course, Magic the Gathering already did a collaboration with Lord of the Rings, so doing one strictly on the Hobbit seems, a little double dipping, but of course it was going to happen. Let's see, details on the Hobbit sets is it will drop August 2026. We'll have Gollum, Gandalf, and probably other folks. And there's a long rumored Star Trek set with which we can confirm that's going to be next month, or excuse me, not next month, next November. And it's going to have Kirk, Gowron, and a bunch of other folks. So yeah, they're continuing to do this crossover stuff, much to the chagrin of the quote unquote hardcore Magic community. Whatever. So yeah, but also, so yeah, this is another story about that the Magic the Gathering Star Trek stuff. So which has a couple of the cards a little bit more in depth. So yeah. Oh wait, no, this is from the 1994 customizable card, so that's old stuff. But anyway. There installs that, and of course there's a trailer for the Magic the Gathering Star Trek stuff, which you can check out at the show notes. And apparently there's another game, Star Trek Captain's Chair, which is, I think, is another. I'm not sure too much about this one, but this was another old article that I just so happened to just see. So this is a deck building game as opposed to a trading card game, which is not much difference. But anyway, this will have all the folks you would expect it to, including one, Cynical Martin Green's, Michael Beecham. I probably butchered the name, but yeah. Again, it's another card game. I will probably check out some of that if I see any cards around. So that's pretty cool. This is from WizKids. This article is kind of old, so this might be out already. I will check that out at my leisure though. Next up though, Fanhome bringing back 20 Eagle Moss XL Star Trek models. Of course, the TOS Enterprise being one of them. And this is going to be at New York Comic Con, of course it is. So it is a new line of diecast Star Trek ship models, focusing on series. So you can check that out. So there's the there's a TOS Enterprise. There's the Cerritos from Lower Decks. Let's see, the quantities at the show will be very limited, so probably by now they may not be there too much longer if they're not there, if they're not all gone already. The price at the show is going to be $85. Booth 1301 if you just happen to see this before you head out there over there. But they will be at their site on October 15th at fanhome.com. So cool. If those interest you. And again, those are extra large ships. So that's probably why the price. Also, Fanhome expands that line with 10 ships. Let's see, DS9, 10 Enterprises. Yeah, 10 Enterprises, Katinga, DS9, and more iconic ships. So basically add to what I just said. So yeah, there's Voyager. There's the Cerritos again. You got the Discovery, DS9. I would probably want to get that DS9, honestly, because I'm a big DS9 fan. There's a Defiant in here, or an Wait, if there's a Defiant in here? So yeah, there's a Defiant and a Delta Flyer. I love the Defiant. So there you go. There's the NX-01 from Enterprise. There's, of course, the number of ones from Next Generation. So yeah, not surprised they went down the whole line. These are extra large, and meaning they're 11 and 12 inches in length. Let's see. Looks like they're going to be $95 each, which is slightly different from that last article from the same site said. But yeah, you can go check that out at fanhome.com. Master Replicas decloaks new Star Trek Deep Space Nine US Defiant dedication plaque replica. So that's cool. This is just a plaque, not the ship, by the way. So the dedication plaque from DS9 is the third in the line of full-size replicas. There's one for Cat Kirk's Enterprise and Janeway's Voyager from earlier this week. They are 14 by 10.5, based on the original art instructions from Michael Kuda, who was the one who made all that in the first place. So there you go. They are $48 USD and available for pre-order at Master Replica's website if you are so inclined. Let's see. Darth Vader at Duel's End joins Hasbro's Star Wars The Black Series and more. So this is NYCC stuff. There's Vader there. There's Naboo. Excuse me. I was about to say Leia, but that's Padme. There is a Boba Fett. There is a Purge Trooper and a Patrol Trooper. If you're watching the video version, you can see in all this. You should. There is Shak T, the one who put the set in the... Okay, anyway. Somebody out there is going to get that reference, and I will love it. And I will love you for it. But yes. So those are the figures that was announced. And I assume They're going to be out soon, if not already out. So there you go. Next up, though, Hasbro. Well, actually, we'll just skip that because I just did that. Lego is going all in on its R2-D2 set, apparently, which is cheap at this point, or was cheap at the point of this article. If you're into Legos and you're into Star Wars, hey, there's stuff out there for you, if you didn't figure that out. Let's see. According to this, it was $79, which was $20 off of what it normally is. I don't know if it's still at that price, and I'm not going to look, but you can go check for yourself on Amazon or other places. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimate Train Track Takedown Shredder hits NYCC. So this is from NECA, excuse me. Let's see, is a New York Comic Con exclusive, because that kind of makes just more than enough sense. The figure pays tribute to the Turtles of the Orient Express episode, featuring Shredder as a disguised engineer, and it's a limited edition. So there you go. If you're watching the video version, you can see the figure right there. That's pretty cute. There's all the accoutrement. There you go. Posed again. Again, watch the video version if you're interested in seeing what the stuff look like, or check out the show notes. So yeah, that's cool. How much is this? It probably doesn't matter because it doesn't look. Let's see. It's going to be at Comic-Con with limited quantities, but it looks like it's going to be online later on. So if you don't hit it at the show, you'll probably be able to catch it later on on NECA's site. Hot Toys debuts new Aliens vs. Predator Broken Tusk 1/6 scale figure. Here is the figure right there. It's a good looking figure. Since it's Hot Toys, you know it's going to be pricey. Let's see. You can RSVP for pre-orders from Shite Show. Let's see. Is there a price? I don't see one on this article. $300 is the pre-order price for, looks like either one. There's a collector's edition and a special edition that I'm seeing on the Sideshow site. So yeah, you can check, you can get that. If that's your thing, run with it. Optimus Prime gets a Megatron upgrade with Transformers MDLX. So it's a 7-inch tall figure with 48 points of articulation, die-cast frame, and heavy war-torn detailing. There is the Prime with, you know, I don't know. Something's different about this Prime. I can't put my finger on what's different, although it looks very familiar. MDLX Optimus Prime Comic Book Edition. What version of the comic book would this be from? I wonder. If you're not watching the video version, you probably should, because that whole thing does not play without seeing this. But I'll just go ahead and spoil it. It's from the recent Transformers series. Skybound, which, by the way, Transformers 25 is out this week. So the Kirkman era is upon us. The Kirkman Mora era is upon us. I have not read it yet. So, because yeah. But this is from Skybound's Transformers set. And of course it comes with stuff and hands and things. How much is it? I don't think it says. Pre-orders are already live. Oh, here we go. $107.99 with a Q2 2026 release date. So there you go. If you are interested in that, hey, it's out there. It's a cool looking figure. Not surprising. Some more Wonderfest Shanghai preview stuff. There is some, and from Blockies. This is from, let's see, Action Edition Tarn. Transformers Prime, Optimus Prime. There is a Megatron and a Bumblebee, and of course, yeah, there is there we go. Those look like some of the stuff right there. Yeah, so there is that. I don't know if that stuff is coming to the States or not, but we shall see. Or it shall be seen. Yeah. Next up, though, Transformers Starscream and another iconic G1 Decepticon gets a cinematic update. So this is from 3-0. It's a non-transforming Starscream figure, so boo already. This is from the Bumblebee movie. Okay. Let's see. And 3-0's got a thrust going on here, as you can see from the if you see from the pictures that I'm showing. Just like all of these are from the movie of the same name. And my apologies for going through this stuff kind of fast, but you know, like I said, time constraints here. There you go. They look good looking figures, but they don't transform, so who cares? And plus they're from the movie, so let's see. The thrust is $130.99 and the Starstream is $230.99. Yeah, that's a lot of money for figures, but hey, if you want them, they're out there. But they are also very detailed, so that would be the reason to get those if you want them. Nearly 40 years later, Transformers returns to G1 with a new release of its most hated Autobot. I am not going to do the rhyming, and I don't know who's the most hated in this equation. I guess, what is it, Brawn? So, oh, probably Wheelie. But, so Transformers Retro Wheelie is a brand new deluxe class mold for the character. So, you know, y'all know who Wheelie is. Wheelie is the one with the bars. This is Outback, though, the pictures that I'm showing. That is another G1 character that is coming out. Fine Gloom, stop. Oh. So yeah, this is Outback. And here's Wheelie. I think I had Wheelie as a figure, actually, back in the day. So yeah, Wheelie gets a little bit too much hate just because he'd be rhyming his ass off. Y'all, don't hate the bars, man. Don't hate the bars. There is Wheelie transformed. Wheelie, of course, is one of the smaller bots. He comes with the packaging you would want to have him with him. I don't know if do they even come with I don't even think they even come with the little red strip that you put across the stat bar anymore. If they do, if they don't, that's a missed opportunity, honestly. So yeah, so we got Outback and Wheelie. How much are these? Probably very cheap. Yeah, $24.97. Walmart Collectors Con, October 10th. So there you go. They're out there. Don't be square. Yeah. So Von Gloom says, I'm not going to read that first one because, but make Shredhead look ever closer. And matter of fact, with this next one, we'll talk about that with this next one. Let's see. It's Wheelie. He brought a slingshot to a gunfight, but it was an effective slingshot against Grimlock, by the way. It worked. It stung. It was a David and Goliath situation, and he had bars. Von Gloom says Wheelie can out-rap Drake, which is not hard to do. He just needs the beats. He needs to hook up with Pharrell or Mustard. I don't know. I don't know if either one of those can keep up with Wheelie like that, because Wheelie has such of a non-commercial style to him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He's kind of like the ODB of the Transformers universe. Ain't no father to his style. So, but the next article is Cliffjumper enters the fight with new Skybound Transformers figure. This is, of course, the Transformer. This is the Cliffjumper. I should have put this with that Optimus, but this is another 3-0 joint. This is a figure. This is also from the Skybound comic book. So there you go. This is MDLX Cliffjumper comic book edition. If you're looking for it, if you're not watching the video version. So, there's the figure right there. It's a good looking figure, and it's probably going to be pricey, even though it's smaller. Yep, it is. 3-0 has Cliffjumper priced at $76.49. Pre-orders are live, and Q2 2026 is the release date. So again, Worth noting, these are figures, not actual Transformers. Excuse me, these are statues, not, these are not statues. These are figures. These are not Transformers as they would normally transform. So, die-cast metal frame. So that being said, I say that to say that Von Gloom in the chat has a favorite character from the recent, and who is also a new character from the recent Skybound series, who is still in the series, by the way, but who does not have a Transformer figure yet. I still figure out, although this is pretty much saying maybe he'll get one of these figures before he'll get an actual Transformer, which that would suck. But I still maintain that he's going to get a figure. I figured we would have seen news on Shredhead getting an actual figure at New York Comic Con. I have not seen any news on that yet, and the time is a ticking. So if we haven't seen it by now, and it is Saturday, sometimes there's some stuff that comes out on Newswise on Saturday, so it could happen. Yes, you biased as hell. Yes, I know, but to be fair, it is a good character, so I'm not. I can't hold you on that one. I mean, you know. So, you know, it's a pretty. Some would argue also could say a '90s leaning character. You know. He gave Megatron a scar. How many clankers could do that? Could claim that? You were so silly with the clankers bit. So yeah, so we got our second figure. I suspect, knowing that this is a 3-0 stuff and not actually Hasbro doing actual figures, I suspect there should be an RC. There's probably gonna be Ultra Magnus. I don't know. Of these type figures, but we'll see if Shredhead gets an actual figure or not. He should though. He very much should. Carbotics Voltron Legendary Defender by Blitzway is the next figure we'll talk about. Is a pre-order. This is the Voltron from the Netflix series. It is, according to this, primarily die-cast metal construction. It is a figure and not, you know, it's not like the Lions that transforms into Voltron, but it's just a straight up Voltron figure. Let's see. Pre-orders were available through the Blitzway shop. It is $448 with a limited edition price at $649. Pre-orders are probably already live, actually, and will be limited to 2016 pieces. So if that is of interest to you, go for it. I honestly still, there is one of those Lion sets that I can't remember who did it. I kind of still want. I don't have the space for it, but I kind of want the Lions as a set that transforms into Voltron, the OG joint. I think it's Playmates. This is the one that I'm thinking of, but we'll see. Evangelion's Anime's prototype mecha gets major update with new international release. So this is Rei Ayanami's Unit 00. I will, we'll get to that in a second, Von Gloom. So yeah, Zablaki's plastic kit, Evangelion Unit 00 model kit. So there you go. This is from that third movie thing, whatever the thing they had to make because people still couldn't understand the ending for the first time, so they had to smooth it out. But yeah, there's the figure imposed. There you go. Let's see. Do we have a price here? Honestly, halfway don't care, but it's going to ship to customers in November from Blockies, like I said. I don't see a price here, but if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Von Gloom says if it costs, and he says it's all caps. Just remember all caps when you say the man's name. If it costs $448 just for the figure, it would be damn near $1,000 if the Lions could transform and separate. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Again, there is a set that's out there that is the Lions that does transform. That is probably nowhere near that, but it's also not die-cast. So therein lies that. You know, I can't remember how much that Playmate says like probably 90 to 100, maybe a little over 100, somewhere around that. But I think it's also plastic. So they're in like that. Bonington said, not the OnlyFans. Yeah, that's why I had to kind of curb some of my figure collecting from my Transformers collecting, because it's getting a little pricey and I don't have room for it as it is. And I need to actually start seeing about getting room for all of this stuff. I need to rejigger this office also so it could be presentable, but that's a whole nother situation, and get some more shelves in here and do some things. You know how the vibe is. But anyway, keep it pushing. That's that Evangelion thing. 16 years later, Bandai returns to Gundam Seed with surprise master grade Gunpla model kit. Let's see. This is for the MG 1100th Sword Impulse Gundam. According to this article, it is one of the most highly desired model kits. I'll take their word for that. I did not watch Seed yet, so I don't know. Incredibly detailed, this model kit has several accessories and weapons befitting the master grade status. Released once more released once more after 1.5 decades. There we go. Take 3. It showcased continued popularity in Gundam Seed. I'll take the word for that. So, so yeah. This is from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny. Again, if y'all did not know, Gundam has a multiverse of sorts. It's funny. It's weird and it's confusing and it's funny, but it's there. Let's see. So yeah, they're in like the boo, 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 tomato, tomato. I'm so glad I don't have that in the bot, because I'm pretty sure that would be used. And I would forget to turn it off and it'd be used right now. But Forgotten Gundam Wing Mecha gets a major redesign with new high-grade Gunpla. So this is the HGAC 1/144 Gundam Greep, or Grep. Greep. I don't know how to pronounce that. Griep. From Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Destiny Dual Story G Unit. G Unit. Because that was going to happen anyway. Features a litany of impressive features and accessories. It can also transform into a sleek alternate form mode. If that wasn't enough, it can combine with other related model kits, making it one of the coolest Gundam Wing toys ever. So this is from a manga. This is not from... They did not animate this, because I would have remembered. That series had so many outlandish scenes. Which one? C, or are you talking about Dual Destiny? Or Dual Story? Yeah, no, this is from the manga, a side story manga. This is not from Wing, the anime. That's why neither you or I remember this, because it was because it was from a manga. So maybe if Crunchyroll gets some Gundam manga in there, we can read some of it. I don't know. You know. They're not a sponsor, but yeah. Oh, you're talking about Seed. Yeah, I heard some things. I think I've watched like one episode of Seed, the original Seed, not the sequel. So, oh no, Diane Keaton died. Rest in peace, Diane Keaton. That sucks. Huh. I don't think she did any stuff, whatever, but hey, it's Diane Keaton. So yeah, but that's the figure. If you're watching the video version, it also transforms. Yeah, weird. Next up though, first look at Hot Toys Battle Damage T800 figure. Cue the Terminator theme. Let's see. There's a new unboxing video that is here on this video. I'm not going to play it. But if you were watching the video version, you can see the Battle Damage T800 right there with shotgun and whatever else it comes with. There you go. You can see the stuff that comes in the box right there if you're watching the video version. The main character blew his Gundam in the void. Are you spoiling Seed for me, sir? I don't care. I probably won't remember anyway. The main character blew his Gundam in the void of space and is miraculously okay the next episode. He didn't eject and his Gundam has a nuclear in it. Well, I mean, to be fair, Gundams are highly volatile. So I think they all have some sort of, maybe not nuclear, but they have some highly volatile components in it. But that's weird. Hey, you know what? Wait, not that this makes any difference, but I'm assuming the main character is a new type. Because if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Gundam was a new type. Not that that makes that much different than what you just said, but I don't know. But regardless, so, the T-800's got a lot of stuff going to it. Apparently, there's a T-1000 also that is also available to pre-order. Again, these are figures, so these are going to be pricey. They're from Hot Toys, so they're definitely going to be pricey. And I don't see a price, but just think hundreds of dollars. Yeah, definitely hundreds of dollars for these. But you can go to Sideshow and check that out for yourself. So I don't even need to see to go there. Pre-order alert: Bros Fight Studio Conan the Barbarian Epic HA Hacks 1. I didn't mean to spell that out. I was going to spell it out because I know it's probably spells something, but it's fine. 1/12 scale figure. So there you go, folks. The Conan's got a set of figures. So there's the Barbarian. There looks like some other folks. It's a couple of Conans, a couple of other folks. And I'm waiting for Von Gloom to say the magic words. But let's see. You can pre-order these from Big Bad Toy Stores and Entertainment Earth. Again, there's a 1/12 depictions of Belit, Queen of the Black Coast. Let's see. Also, and there's a couple of Conans. So there you go. I don't see a price, and I'm not going to go through and check it out. But let's see. John Cena kind of has Arnold's face. He should play a Terminator. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I do see what you're saying about the square jawedness, but no, by Crom. That's what I was waiting on. He was one of those damn new types with a special affinity. Yeah. He was a new type. So, what's best in life? Where's that from? I don't know. Either way, so I can hurry up and finish this because I got to get somewhere. D&D 4th edition almost broke legendary writer R.A. Salvatore. So apparently he wrote an article on Drizzt, which is a character folks know about from the D&D universe. So in a section in... Oh, this talks about something that happens in said novel. And R.A.'s Salvatore's quote is that part was one of the toughest parts. 4th edition D&D almost broke me. Not because I didn't like 4th edition D&D. I'm not making any judgments, positive or negative, on any editions. Because you got to hedge that a little bit. But the changes were so sweeping. Oh, the Conan movie. I got you. I don't remember. A horned owl beard. I don't remember. You remember that more than I do. Yes, Von Gloom, people do have a weird boner for that Drow Ranger Bestich. Oh, you're talking about the horned. Oh, okay. You're talking about this. Von Gloom's talking about a picture that is in the video version. If you're watching the video version, you can see what he's talking about with the horned owl bear. I love owl bears. Wouldn't want to run up on one, but yeah. Anyway, to have an unlimited budget, buy all the figures you want, and not hearing the constant whining of, yeah, believe me, I'm married, so I understand, bruh. I understand. That's why you gotta sneak some of that stuff in. Let me stop. Anyway, But yeah, you can check out the article and see what Mr. Salvatore says about that, and you can also read his book if you're so inclined. I'm pretty sure you probably already have it if it's out, because you know there are people who are crazy about those Dungeons and Dragons novels. So, and this is not a a knock. I love y'all. You know, you are prestigious nerds. Star Trek: The Inner Light episode got an unofficial sequel by the original writer. I'm not going to go into about the episode of The Inner Light, but if you have watched Star Trek: The Next Generation, pretty much all the way through, you pretty much know this one. Get out your flutes also. So yeah, it's a pretty prominent episode for Picard specifically, but you know, it's one that is highly regarded, you know, I'm pretty sure it almost comes up on almost anybody's, you know, top 10 episode list or something like that. I don't know. But regardless, apparently Morgan Gendel, who was the writer on that episode, wrote a sequel. So he said, granted, that episode did not necessarily need a sequel, but apparently, according to this article, there are some people who you know, felt like there's some stuff that could have been, some more that could have been said or done in here. But apparently, so he's done it. Back in 2012, Gendel spoke with Forbes about how he penned a follow-up story to The Inner Light called The Outer Light. Gendel originally published The Outer Light as a webcomic, which can be read in part on the Treks in Sci-Fi website. So you can go check that out if it's still out there. And this is the internet. It probably still is. And it goes into what the sequel to The Inner Light is about. I'm not going to go into it, but so, and he did this on his own accord. So, you know, just for giggles, because as you do. But if you're interested in that, you can go check that out for yourself. Dungeons and Dragons novels come out more frequently than those Game of Thrones books, and you see a dragon way more often. Yeah, that's true. I mean, so, you know, Baldur's Gate books are probably getting to that point, and Star Trek novels are probably still get out there every now and then too. But yeah, you know, hey, D&D books, catch them. Frank Miller's Push the Wall is a comics memoir akin to Stephen King's On Roddying. So apparently Stephen King wrote a memoir. If you're watching the video version, you can see what I assume to be the cover of the book. It's called Push the Wall, My Life, Writing, Drawing, and the Art of Storytelling. Honestly, this might be an interesting book. And of course, Frank Miller illustrated himself, because of course he did. So let's see. Do we know when this is coming out? We get the logline from the book. Don't care. Oh, Push the Wall will be released in bookstores July 14th, 2026. You can pre-order on Amazon if you so choose to, which that might happen. I have not read any of the books that I've gotten from folks, or many of the books that I've gotten from comics, or about comics for folks. Maybe one of these days when I don't know. I was about to say when I get old, but I'm already getting old. So it's, you know, and I'm already still reading a lot of stuff. Maybe it'll be on my Goodreads or whatever that other site is one of these days. Who knows? He should have called it I Am the Goddamn Frank Miller. I'm pretty sure he probably wanted to. And they was like, no, Frank, no. You can't do that. I can do what I want. Or maybe he's, getting chiller in his older age. So who knows? Last but not least, though, a Monster Hunter walks into New York Comic Con with Boom Studios cover variants. So yeah, this is a cover variant for some Boom books. Yes. So special variants by Peach Momoko, Jenny Friesen, Zveta Shabina, and others. Let's see. Release schedules include daily comps and so these are the books that are being that are getting the cover treatment. A lot of these do not look especially Monster Hunter-ish, I gotta say. So, or maybe I'm thinking slightly different from the Monster Hunter. Oh, headline by a Monster Hunter walks into a bar. I guess that is the book. I'm sorry. I was thinking Monster Hunter, the video game. So that's me. That's probably on me. But I guess, yeah, so they're doing variant covers aligned with that, with the thing. I love Peach Momoko style. I don't always catch it in certain stuff but yes, she absolutely has an interesting style. So like the whole reason for me reading Ultimate X-Men was because she was writing and drawing it. And I fell off, not for anything having to do outside of the fact that, because that's a weird ass book. And it's a weird ass book in the Peach Momoko style of a weird ass. So, and I say that lovingly, you know, because like I said, she has got a style that is, you know, there's only a couple of other people that does anywhere remotely a similar style to hers, and I'm drawing a blank on the manga person, and I feel like folks might know who I'm talking about. It's just between a super stylized and a version of Yoshitaki Amano. Yeah, I'll take your word for that. And with that, folks, we are done with the news section and actually done with the show. And I can't believe that still took 2 hours. Actually, I can believe that still took 2 hours. Yeah, this is not surprising whatsoever. And I was trying to do my damnedest. So, but before we do the outro stuff, let me get to one last ad read before I forget. Keep our podcast free by shopping at Amazon. Visit cspn.us, then click the Keep Our Podcast Free link at the top of the page. From there, scroll down and click on the Amazon link to shop. Purchase items from Amazon as you normally would, whether it's books, music, electronics, jewelry, apparel, Marvel, Legends, playmats, trading cards, but, you know, support your local card shop, you know, movies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For every purchase made through Amazon, through our link, Amazon sends the CSPN a payment that helps us keep the Comic Book Chronicles podcast free for our listeners at no extra cost to you. Amazon through cspn.us. Do it today. So, yeah, folks. Let me put the shot back up on me. There we go. So, yeah, folks, that's it. I gotta get out of here because I gotta go do a thing but yeah, that has been the show for this week. We will be back next week. A full show, like Agent 70 should be back unless, you know, something. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just. Amano is the Final Fantasy design. Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I'm not big on Final Fantasy, but I at least know that much. I got you. So yeah, we will be back next week with another show, because this was a show for this week. If you have not, go check out twitch.tv/Comic Book Chronicles, where a couple of days ago I played, or a couple of days ago as this was recording, I played Marvel Cosmic Invasion demo. I played through all of the characters that were in there, including the one character I didn't even want to do. So go figure. So if you haven't, the VOD's still up on that. I should probably need to put that up somewhere else before too long, or keep it cemented. But it wasn't that long. It was like an hour and a half, or it ended up being like a little over an hour. So yeah, go check that out if you are interested in checking out that side-scrolling beat 'em up, and you should, because it's good. It evokes the beat 'em up from the day that you think it would and should. And does its own little thing here and there. So I don't know. We still don't know a release date on it, but I suspect we're going to find out. If we don't find out by tomorrow, It's going to be soon. It has to be, because and it's supposed to be slated still for this year, and that's only in the next couple of months. So I'm assuming next month though, to catch the holidays. Anywho's, but yeah. This is it for the show. I have been Roddykat. You can find me at Roddykat on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find me at Lord, I am tripping. You can find me at CBCaps on Instagram. Blue Sky and Instagram and Twitter. Excuse me, Blue Sky and Twitter. You can find me at Roddykat. You know, it's CBCaps on Instagram, all of that kind of good jazz. Agent 70 is not here, but you can find him on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads. You know what I'm saying? You can find this here podcast on the Cold Slither Podcast Network, that's CSPN.us. Do it today. And you can also find us on your podcast perusal place of choice, whether it be Apple iTunes, like your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the Cold Slither Podcast Network SoundCloud page. You know, like and subscribe. Come check us out on Thursdays where we record on youtube.com/theclicknation and twitch.tv/Comic Book Chronicles. That's when we normally record the podcast. You know, unless something like Movie Protocol happens, or like this week happened to be New York Comic Con and I just didn't record Thursday. So, you know, give myself a couple more days. But like I said, we're going to have 2 weeks worth of books next week. We'll finish up talking about Peacemaker next week. Since that's all over with now, I still need to watch the last episode of all of that. We should get Agent 70 and hopefully Matt Wayne 97's New York Comic Con recap then. So it's going to be a pretty packed show. And also probably a good bit of news, because there's still going to be some stuff trickling out from the show, as I've already seen gathering from then. But anyway, I am rambling and I got to go, and this show is long enough and it's not going to get edited. It's going to be out just like this. So I apologize in advance again. But folks, I might be on also twitch.tv/Comic Book Chronicle. Probably within the next couple of days, I might do some more stuff, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've been meaning to do. I should have restarted Saturday Morning Feature, which is the feature where I played a lot of comic book inspired video games, you know, that I used to do on my personal channel on Twitch. You know, you can still find a lot of that stuff there. You know, and I'm going to restart it back up. I have a list and the list needs to be brought down some and still added to. So we're gonna chunk in on it. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna play everything in full, but definitely stuff is going to get played for a certain. Just trying to figure out which game I'm gonna start with, because I don't want to start at the beginning, because that 2600 Spider-Man and Superman are rough. Maybe I'll do Arcade Superman if I can get it to show up. But anyway, that's me rambling again. This has been the Comic Book Chronicles. Peace.
Good evening, Rick. Would you believe it's Dr. Doom?
What's on your evil mind?
Hold your insulting tongue and mark my words well.
How about this rumor that you are really Iron Man, Mr. Stark?